Hello, everyone, and welcome to American Scouser's first pre-match of the season. It felt freaking good to be able to play that after months of not being able to. It felt good. It was just like, yes.
It really did.
That music gets you ready to just take on the world, and we're going to win the league, guys. We're going to win the effing league this year.
Or we're just going to irritate each other for 45 minutes before the match. One or the other.
But yeah, I mean, it should be interesting. These are like games that, you can lean back and watch, if you will, especially like the first preseason. But the lineup is out. I mean, it's kind of like fill in the blanks kind of a deal. It's kind of hard to look at it. Well, we were kind of talking about it before we went on air over here. So you made a bigger appearance, Gally, just kind of walked in through the door in the last second. So having seen this lineup, the back four kind of fills itself. But I guess the biggest question is, who do you think is like up front three? I mean, we talked about it this morning with Kazi, the fact that we don't have any attackers over there with us. We couldn't take anybody with us. I know Jota just joined the game, the camp and stuff like that. But who do you expect to see as our front 2, 3, whatever it may be?
I mean, the bigger question might be, who is Blair? I looked at the subs and I was like, Blair. There's only one name I don't know, and I honestly was like, if he was a left back, he'd be starting over Simicast. But
I was going to say, your boy Costas is there.
Costas is in the lineup. I can't believe it. I feel like Arn is like, please, someone buy this freaking Greek. I can't take another day of this ponytail.
Harvey Blair plays forward.
He's a forward?
Yeah, I think we've seen him a few times before, but I can't even if I saw him, I wouldn't know. So
that's the one name I looked at everything. I was like, what name won't I know? I was like, who isn't on this tour that I should know? Who is? Blair was the one. But I think that front three is probably what is it? Mo, Harvey, and is it Soboslai maybe?
Yeah, that's the question.
Are we playing with a front three? We want to even play front three. We might play 4-4-2.
I don't know if that's what he's going to do here, though. I feel like he probably starts out in some form of a hybrid 4-3-3, almost just to I don't have my players yet. You can't see my formation. That's my gut. But I think it's Harvey, Soboslai, and Mo, and I don't think it looks good either way.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. I mean, I don't think you look at this and you're like, yes, I really want to see the attacking line over there, Sir Z. But I mean, looking at this, I think the players that we commonly said over this last week, players we will watch in the preseason, a lot of them are on there, including Carvalho, Sepp, and stuff like that. So, I mean, having seen the lineup now, what do you want to see, or what are you really watching closely?
Definitely Szoboszlai. I think after last season, he has a lot to prove. I think Jones, just watching his interviews, and he seems like he's reborn. And I don't know about you guys. I just listened to his interviews. It seemed a little bit disrespectful to Klopp of what he was saying. And I know where he was coming from, but a lot of it seemed like really premeditated of what he was going to do. And he just seems like really up for it. He's really just backing himself to I don't know, just to make it this season. He said it's an equal playing field this now, and which I think is wrong in a way, but I mean, at least he's up for it. I mean, he's always had that cockiness. Now he's just got to back up what he says.
See, that's interesting you say that. I kind of took that as, in terms of premeditated, yes, those were ready to go questions, because I don't know if you guys saw this, but as he's getting up, he says, "Oh, I thought you guys were gonna ask about Trent." So or it says something like, "I thought they were going to ask about Trent." So he crammed the day before for the questions that might come up, and that didn't come up. So I would think, John, he knew one of the questions, as every other question is going to be all freaking season, is what would Klopp do? So comparing it to what Klopp does and stuff like that. And I don't know, I took it as he has to make it sound positive without, Sir Z saying, being disrespectful or dissing the old system, but he has to make the new one sound good as well, which I thought he did a good job of.
I thought he did an okay job. It depends on how you interpret it, though. You can have people who take it the wrong way. It's entirely dependent on someone. I personally don't see too much issue, but I disagree in terms of the point that he was saying about how we're just rushing all the time. Well, rushing won the league then. Rushing won us the Champions League. I'd always prefer intent over mindlessly passing around if that's what he was driving at. But then he could be meaning it a different way, right? That's the thing with words. It could be taken out of context. I could be taking it out of context, right? But what matters is new boss, new system, everyone gets a clean slate. So everything about Klopp, that's just out the window right now. And I'm just backing Curtis Jones to just show us, kind of pick up where he left off from last year. You're talking about players that you wanted to, that we're going to be keeping an eye out on for this particular game. Obviously, Szoboszlai is the one, but my second is Curtis Jones as well, because if he's going with a 4-2-3-1, I'm curious to see how he's going to work in a double pivot, considering I think he has the tools for that. Like, he's grown into having a great engine, being a decent ball winner, something that is like essential to a double pivot like that. So listen, whatever it is, it's gone for me. That's nothing really to take too seriously, and let's see what he has to show.
Yeah, see, I thought he made it. I mean, I know what you're saying, but it made it sound like, one, possession is going to be a lot more important. So we're not going to rush things. If it's not there, it's not there. Whereas, kind of like what you're saying, the intent was go, go, go. Yeah. And let's face it, at times that can pay off. It's a risk reward, right? Sometimes it can pay off and get a good counter going, but sometimes you lose the ball there and you get recounter right back. And we have conceded a lot of goals trying to do that. I mean, I can think of a couple, right? I mean, the freaking United Cup game, for example, when we were trying to build and be direct instead of just dropping it and kind of saying, keep the ball and control and stuff like that. How did you take that one, Gally?
I didn't have a problem with it. I'll be honest, what I would counter John with, and I get where he's coming from, but like that direct play, that go, 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 yeah, it won us a league and a Champions League. It also lost us 3 leagues and 2 Champions League finals. So
against cheaters, though, for the league, mind you.
Yeah, call whatever you want, The play dictated what ended up with the number of points. And whether they're cheaters or not, if you don't change your tactics, maybe you beat the cheaters and then you show you're even better at what you are. I love what Curtis did, because I think Curtis recognizes, I heard you and Kazi this morning on the morning show, and it was a really good show. You were all over it. It's a great point. But he's not an Aston Villa fan. If you've ever seen our 3rd or 4th highest rated video ever, it is me ripping on Aston Villa and all of Aston Villa's supporters coming to destroy me for the season. They then went on to make the Champions League, so they should basically go fuck themselves. But in all seriousness, I think what comes down for me is that I think Jones realizes he fits into this system like a glove. Because like Kazi said this morning, and it was the best point he made, Curtis Jones absolutely is the best ball winner and best ball controller of anyone in our system. Therefore, if what Schlatt wants to do is hold possession and not lose the ball, Curtis Jones might be the first name on his team sheet. And there's a reason he was the guy that they trotted out there to go speak to the media. If you don't think the manager didn't decide who the PR team was going to give the first interview to, it's because this is a big player. I actually think Kazi's spot on. I think this whole preseason tour is about Curtis Jones.
I think you're made captain today. And sorry, just interject.
No, you're good.
Everything that Curtis Jones was saying in his interview counteracts what Trent was saying last season in his interview, where Trent was saying that they intentionally would give the ball away to the opposition so they can catch them on the counter attack. So I think now, and obviously if you listen to Schlatt and how much he loves Pep, I think a lot of his midfield strategy is going to be based on Pep.
Yep.
And it's basically keeping the ball and just killing the game off in midfield, like through possession. And I think that's the biggest change that we're going to see. And that's where Curtis Jones fits in perfectly.
I think it does fit, and I think I kind of disagree with Kazi. I would still put McAllister over Jones, but I do agree that it definitely fits.
That's fair.
That kind of a player in terms of winning balls, being able to play in tight spaces. Because, like, if you look at that midfield, I was telling Kazi this morning too. I watched way too much footage in these last few days of like old Feyenoord games and stuff. I mean, there is like a huge overload in real tight areas. There's like 5-6 midfielders clustered. And then the right winger and stuff like that isolated. So we're going to see a lot of that. And it takes players that can play in tight spaces and make like the right passes and right decisions quickly. And I think that does definitely suit him. Brian Shelton says, I'm sitting in a theater waiting for a horror podcast live enactment. Speaking of horror podcasts, we will be doing a 24-hour.
Fact.
You think that's a horror
podcast?
Fact. We are doing our fundraiser. We did announce it earlier today, and there'll be more going out in social media because we are looking for sponsors that will sponsor per certain hours because it is 24 hours. So there'll be 24 hours to go around, and we are looking for donors to donate items to be silent auctioned as well. The ones you see are actually directly from the Jamie Carragher Foundation, so we do thank him for that, and those will be in the silent auction. And then, like I say, I've already gotten quite a few messages of people donating items and sending items for it as well. But we will be having a 24-hour podathon, 24 hours straight of myself, Gally, and Bickler, and that will be quite the horror show by itself.
We might also be looking for people to donate organs because by the end of it, we may not still be together.
It says, can't wait to tell myself preseason doesn't matter than getting annoyed as everyone posting about how much the team sucks in 2 hours. I think, I know Serzi, I know you, over time that, we know each other where I know we say, it's preseason. Not only is preseason, but you look at the lineup. I mean, it's like a League Cup lineup at best, kind of an ordeal. But I know by the 10th minute, you're gonna blow a gasket, and you're gonna want 3 people sold.
Oh yeah,
2 more guys bought, including money.
And Diaz isn't around, so Cersei can't say I miss Mane.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, our competitive spirit kicks in, right?
We don't know who's playing on the left wing, but we know Cersei would prefer Mane.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, the competitive spirit kicks in. Heck, during COVID, I was watching Trent play FIFA, and I would be disappointed when he got scored on and stuff. Just competitive spirit kicks in. But I mean, obviously, I'm assuming, Cersei, you don't care about wins and losses and stuff like that. But regardless of the score, what will make you walk away happy, even if it's a loss, for example?
No, a loss hurts. Even if it's a friendly, a loss hurts. I can't. It's got to that where
lock in. Let's go.
In that Brendan Rodgers era, I almost gave up on life, like Liverpool and football, just completely. And then
listen, man, I can't blame
Klopp
you.
just brought me back in, and it's just like now, it's like what Gordon was saying the other day. We're literally just 4 wins away from winning, 3 leagues and like 5 Champions Leagues and whatever.
Editing that clip. Sorry, Cersei. Editing that clip just fucking hurt, man. I heard it live and then editing it again, like, oh boy, like hearing it twice just makes it hurt. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So yeah, every loss. I mean, but today, I guess against Preston, just looking at the stats, like we had 27 shots on goal and we didn't score any of them. And Nunes was nowhere around, so we couldn't blame him. But today,
we will. Just ask Kazi.
I just want to see a good performance. I really obviously want us to win, but I want to see how these players respond to Slot. They're all fighting for their positions. Just going back to Jones, I don't think it's an even playing field. I think there's certain names that are guaranteed starters. Obviously, Salah. I think McAllister definitely, guaranteed a place in that midfield. I think maybe the rest of them, but maybe up for grabs. I think it'd be a big preseason for Carvalho as well. He really needs to prove himself.
I mean, we were talking this morning, John, with Kazi, and it's kind of like a situation where, do you think which one is more likely? There are players out there who can earn spots, or there are players out there who can definitely lose spots based on these preseason performances?
I'm a glass half full kind of guy, so I would say Earn. Right. And don't worry, Gally, Tim is slowly hammering it away from me, slowly but surely. Yeah,
he'll take it quickly. Before you know it, it'll be gone. Trust me.
Like
it was going to be 3 years. I'm dead. I'm
like more than a year ago, I joined American Scouser in May 2023. It was here. Like it's July 2024. It's like here now. It's like your gas tank on the middle. It's like in the middle thing right there. So it's getting there. But yeah, I would say I'm still hopeful for certain players. Yeah, that's perfect, Matu.
that is
anything can happen.
That might be the best comment. Come on, a half glass Michael might become a full-time reference on this program.
Like listen, guys, I freaking back Ryan Gravenberch. How can that, if that doesn't just show how positive I am with these certain players? Yes, that is just right there.
Hey, by the way, since it's like Ryan Gravenberch, let me ask you real quick while you still have the mic. We were talking this morning and we were kind of praising about Curtis Jones, his attitude coming in earlier and stuff like that. Yeah. Are you disappointed in your boy who was just sitting on the bench the entire Euros?
He didn't just volunteer.
Yeah, absolutely. And I kind of touched on it on the Wednesday show, Tim. I might have said it in jest, but you know what they say about jesters in medieval times? They told the king the bad news. They were always the bearers of bad news. There was truth in what they said, and there was truth in my joke there that I wanted him to come in way earlier than he should have, because listen, I know it's a clean slate essentially for everyone, but even more so for him, because like we talked about it a lot. He came in, kind of your analogy, the elevator door was closing, then he came in. So I don't know. He still has quite a bit to do to win fans over. I'm one of the people who back him, but then at the end of the day, if he doesn't perform, what the hell am I gonna? What do I have to go off of? Right?
And honestly, like when we talk about that midfield, I feel like Gravenberch fits that as well.
Exactly.
Being able to win ball, play fast with the ball, and quick feet, very technical. Mm-hmm. What do you think, Gally? Are you disappointed that, when we talk about players who can lose spots and players who can grab spots, you would think somebody like Jones, somebody like even Szoboszlai, I feel like these are golden opportunities to be able to cement yourself. Mm-hmm. I really would have thought if I'm Gravenberch or if I'm in Gravenberch's camp in his entourage next to John over there, I would be like, dude, go in early.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm really disappointed. You know the guy I'm more disappointed in? The guy who should be fighting to take Konate's job at center back next to Virgil van Dijk, because in the best defensive season this club's ever had, he was the second best center back in the entire world playing with Van Dijk. Yeah. Why is Gomez not here playing center back right now, holding the armband on his arm tonight?
Yeah,
that's true.
He should be representing in some ways, and I know this will sound crazy, as someone who supported England and said they were going to win the whole goddamn tournament. You were right, Cersei. I was pretty close. I got goddamn close. But I almost, in some ways, if that guy really wanted to be at Liverpool, and this is why I keep saying I think Gomez will be a guy who angles for a move, if not this summer or in a future window. If he really wanted to be at Liverpool when Klopp leaves and the new manager's coming in, don't you maybe turn down going to the Euros with England when you are only brought into the provisional squad and the only reason you're kept is because Luke Shaw is hurt and they still won't play you? Even though they bench Trent, they bench, like, Shaw's hurt, they bench Trippier, like, they keep running out Walker. Gomez had no chance, in my opinion, of ever appearing in that Euros. So might he have been better staying? And I understand. I know where you're going, Demetrius, and I don't blame you.
Yeah, I don't blame him because that's once in a lifetime, right?
No, if I have a chance to represent my country, and not just my country, a country who is the motherfucking favorite to start the tournament, I might just want to hang on and pick up that trophy and take the winner's medal.
Yeah.
But if I really want a future at the club, I probably then hightail that ass back to Liverpool.
Yeah, you can do both.
Get on the first trip to America and not go on vacation. And I saw pictures today of him on like a beach in Dubai with a 15 on the 10 scale. His wife is something
I was
else.
like,
She is.
I thought you were like a 15-year-old. I was like,
I was like, whoa. The broadcast
People.
cuts, right?
First of all, I will. If this is Mason Greenwood, I talk about smacking people around. If this is Joe Gomez, I make excuses. That dude was just with a gorgeous wife. But like, I don't blame him for going on vacation. But I think I'm bringing her to Pittsburgh, not Dubai.
I agree.
To be fair, I'd rather go to Dubai for vacation. But no, I know. I mean, like I said, he could have done both and came back
I'd rather
earlier.
go to Detroit and hang out with a nun.
Because he's now part of the leadership team. I mean, Curtis Jones has pretty much promoted himself into the leadership team. So Gomez is like, he should have been number one there. You know, he didn't kick a ball. He hasn't kicked a ball since last game of the season. He didn't even come on the last game of the season. So it's been like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I don't blame him for taking the opportunity because that is once in a lifetime. But I agree. You can kind of try to do both and cut the vacation a bit shorter and then like come back and stuff like that. But at the same time, I don't know, like to play the devil's advocate. And then 3 months later, when he's all burnt out, we're like, you should have taken an extra couple of weeks off, dude, and stuff like that. So that, you know, I guess he can't win if you look at that. But speaking of winning, who the hell is going to win this game? It should be the easiest game to predict scores on. Sergi, we will start with you. It's just going to be like, I can get you a dartboard if you want. You can throw darts, but give us a score prediction for today.
I think we're in 4-2.
Damn, that's what Kazi had this morning, too. Everybody's expecting a lot of goals. This is going to be a 0-0, and it was going to be pouting. John, what do you have? Holy cow, Matush has 7-5.
Maybe he's predicting your set of games, Tim, how it's going to go, right?
You better be practicing co-op. I'm telling you, we're going to be on freaking 24-hour podathon. I'm already going to be crabby 10, 11 hours into the whole thing. So
I would say
2-0.
I would say 3-3.
Yep, that was my prediction as well. Yeah. I'm going for like everybody's happy. Let's go home.
Yeah,
kind of. Let's get the hell out of Pittsburgh, kind of a thing. What do you have, Gally?
I'm going to go with 4-3. But my biggest prediction for tonight is there'll be at least 5 to 10 people who become shocked on social media that Nabil Fekir is still playing football after his knee fell apart because he is in the starting lineup tonight. So finally, we are going to see what Fekir does to Liverpool. And let me tell you, it will be not much.
Yeah, the moment he's been waiting for.
He's still thinking about that moment. He walked out of that place, held up the shirt, and then someone came in and was like,
wait. There's penalties afterwards? Is this like a...
I think all American friendlies go to pens just so Americans don't
nice.
Americans can't handle draws. They're like, but what happened at the end?
You can't handle the draw, Commission. You can't handle it.
Yeah, that's pretty pathetic. I did not realize that. But yeah, it's additional entertainment.
It is a friendly. Should any friendly that costs someone $255 for a fucking backup B squad and Curtis Jones with the armband not end in a result, win or lose? I mean, in some ways, I kind of feel like the penalties, automatic penalties, no extra time is probably the right way to go. Like, if you spend that much money and you live in Pittsburgh, really, you should be
that's
rewarded.
wrong. That's wrong. We got people.
Yeah, it was.
Sparky says no injuries. Yeah, I mean that's a good point, right? You don't want like a muscle injury or something that's going to keep somebody from fully practicing for like a week or 10 days, even a few days. Right now, that's like the key thing right there. And there will be some leggy players out there. What is the over/under of Anand running onto the pitch? You guys think? No, nobody's taking this bets, or holding a sign asking for a jersey, like Soboslai's jersey or something.
He found a guy wearing a Gravenberg jersey, to be fair. So
I wouldn't be shocked at all. If he figured out a way to tape a sign onto his baby's arms that says, "Please give me your jersey," and then he holds the kid up like Simba.
I can see Anand doing that, really. Hopefully he'll get us some like video footage. I'm looking forward to him chatting to fans and stuff like that. I know he had all his camera and all that kind of good stuff. But do not forget, again, the podathon is August 10th through 11th. Do take some time to kind of take a look, see if you have something that you can donate to the foundation's silent auction over here. We're going to add all items there, and definitely just become a sponsor one of the hours. Hop on air with us, plug in your business if you're a business owner, or just talk LFC with us. Wake up Gally, he'll be dozing off occasionally, whatever it takes, but hop on.
I need to go to bed about 7:30 at night, just so we're all clear. I'm going to go to bed from about 7:30 to 4. You guys are going to see me over here. I'm just going to be, every once in a while, I'm just going to walk out of the room.
You guys think he's kidding, but usually after the Monday night podcast, by the time we get off air and turn off our cameras, Gally is in pajamas. So I'm just saying.
I start changing. I start stripping out. I'm also the guy on the East Coast. I'm also the one that wakes up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning to work every day. But
details.
That's because I'm crazy. And I'm a heart,
Enjoy the game, everybody. We'll be here right after the kickoff. Hopefully, there should be some interesting stuff to talk about, but we'll see you guys then. Enjoy the game. These are going to be one of the few games you can actually sit back and enjoy. Take care.
2 Carvalho goals.
As long as there's not a Sepp on goal or something. We'll see you guys after the game. Take care.